Welcome to the DLLS Rangers Weekly Podcast, now part of the All City Network. Hit the subscribe button for YouTube and also become a DLLS diehard at www.alldlls.com. Now here's Jeff and John. Hey everybody, welcome to the DLLS Rangers Weekly Podcast. This is episode number 43, and today Josh Owens is going to join us. He was the third-round draft pick of the Texas Rangers. He is a two-way player. Now, they now have two in the system, but he was drafted out of Tennessee. He's from the area where Evan Carter's from. We're going to talk to Josh in a little bit. We're going to get him in here, but first, Jeff, you are in Cleveland as this season winds down. And I've got a story to tell. I'm going to tell in a little bit. By the way, big thanks to Round Rock, who has sponsored us all year long, the Round Rock Express. Their season is now over also. Those guys take care of us. We meant to try to get down there this year. It's just been kind of nutty and busy with a kid going to college. But big thanks to them. You're in Cleveland now. Season ends Sunday. Not good at the end. They just kind of faltered off.
Yeah, and then we've talked about on the Daily Show and leaving New York in great shape. You're going to Houston to play the Astros. You got a chance. You got it right there for you, and it they got swept. And Merrill Kelly said it on Sunday. He said once that happened, we knew we were done. And and I don't want to say they've shown it on the field, but there have been some games where there just hasn't been any life, and it caught the attention of Bruce Bochy, and they've only won one of their past 10 games. All right, it's not good, and or one of the last one of the last 10. So you can look at it a number of different ways. Maybe the young guys who were having such a good time and carrying the team finally woke up and realized what they were doing and got a little antsy. The league might have caught up to them and limited them in that way. And then the injuries. You can't overstate how important the injuries became, because right before Marcus Semien got hurt, he was starting to show some life at the plate. Corey Seager was doing really, really well. Jake Berger had done well and then got hurt again. So excuse me, there were a lot of things that seemed
Peterson was coming out of his funk,
happening offensively. Now, would it have happened? Because these young guys came up and provided the spark and all of that stuff. But I would have liked to have seen this team have at least, let's say, even just Seager, or Seager and Evan Carter, be a little closer to full strength. I would have liked to have seen that, but. The personnel is what it is. Bruce Bochy's been managing his tail off with, not a major league roster. I think we need to go ahead and say that. I like a lot of these young guys, but they spent most of the year in the minors or on their second and third organizations of the year for a reason. And that's not to say that they can't become good players. I think Cody Freeman has a chance to be a real good big league player. But Osuna, even Hellman does a lot of good things, but they can't carry a team for 6 weeks, and so I think the last couple of weeks have been part of that has shown up, but so we're to the last series of the season. Cleveland, it's nice weather. The Guardians are the hottest team in baseball and are playing their tails off, and finally lost last night, but they're probably going to be doing some celebrating this weekend for the, clinching a playoff spot, either winning the division or a wild card spot. And so, the Rangers need to find a way to be formidable. It's like you owe it to the rest of baseball, the rest of the teams in the hunt to put up put up your best fight, and so that's kind of the goal here this weekend. If they win one game, they finish at 500. If they win two games, they go ahead and finish above 500, and that's not insignificant, but they might be lucky to win one, just the way things are playing out here in the AL Central.
Okay, I wanted to get into something, and I'm going to kind of lay it out of what happened and all of that. This is rare for me to happen, but the first question I want to ask you before we even get into it,
Yeah.
if you were a betting man and had to lay money on it, is Bruce Bochy coming back?
I would bet yes.
You would bet yes. Okay.
Yeah, just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of I don't know if reading between the lines or whatever, but trying to pick up on some things he said. I think I'll say this: I think he wants to manage. I think he wants to continue, and now, all indications are that Chris Young wants him back.
Yep.
Right. And so is that going to happen? And just yesterday we asked about it, and they said, oh no, we haven't talked about it, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, what do you mean you haven't talked about it? Of course you've talked about it. But
sure.
Anyway,
well,
I think that Rangers manager next year will be Bruce Bochy.
Okay. So let's talk about my interaction. First of all, let's be very clear, and I want to lay this out for people. The difference between Jeff and I when we were at games. We were both at the game Tuesday. Jeff left early because his son had a football game. I was there, and the way this normally works, it's very rare I have a sit-down one-on-one with anybody just because there's no need. It's more, if I do, it's just for fun. It's just asking, talking, doing stuff. You know that, Jeff. You're the one that if you're writing a story on somebody, you can get a one-on-one and do that. I'm never going to do that. I'm not writing anything or doing that. We get there about 2:30 or so, 3 o'clock, the clubhouse opens, and I'm just going to explain to you how this all played out so you know what happened. So it plays out. We usually walk into the clubhouse. If you don't know what that is, it's the locker room. Players are around. That's when you can ask questions. You had some great questions to ask because that was the day the ABS had been announced that they were going to. And so you talk to, and you don't talk to them while they're at the ping pong table or the card table. You wait if they're at their locker, and you talk to a few guys about it. Higashioka, you talked to Langford, Higashioka. It was interesting. They were great answers. We're there till about 3:40. We all walked out down this tunnel out to the dugout where you guys wait around for Bochy to come out for his interview. He sits down with everybody, the beat writers and the TV and radio, to talk about what's going on in the game. That's where you told me when I said what happened. I never get in on that because there's a lot of people trying to get there, and I don't need to. And that's where they announced that Simeon and Seager are shut down for the year, which we kind of figured. I mean, there's no reason for them to come back. They officially announced it. So what happens after that, guys, is that they're usually taking infield and they're taking batting practice. We're hanging around the front of the dugouts. Jeff had gone by now. He had to get to Henry's game, but I'm there for the rest of the night. I was standing right in front of where Bochy sits during a game. And everyone knows where that bench is right there. Right to the right there is where you walk up and down the steps. I'm talking to Taylor. We're sitting there shooting the you-know-what. And Cody Freeman comes over. And as Cody comes over, Taylor wanted to talk to him. And so Cody kind of looked at him, looked at me. I said, he's a good guy. I talked to him. So Cody knows you and I real well. So he sat and did an interview. In the meantime, earlier I had talked to Mike Maddox about his grandkid, and we were talking all about that. I'd gone down and talked to Mike. I'm standing right in front of Bochy's seat. He's coming in from batting practice. Figured he's walking down the tunnel, probably going to go to the back where he goes to his office or whatever. We're 3 hours before game time. They do all their stuff before the game. Just kind of said, hey, Boch, how are the grandbabies? So Boch turns around, sits in his seat, and it's me and Boch just sitting there. So this was, this has happened to me often. And he sits down and goes, oh, they're going good, and he sat down. And I said, let me ask you that older one, your oldest one. I said, I'm getting the ages wrong here. Is it T-ball, baseball? What is he playing now? He goes, oh, no, he's playing he's older now. He's playing coach pitch, but what they do is they don't, if they don't let him walk. So if there's a walk, then the coach comes in to finish. And I talked about coaching my son. And, oh, yeah. I said, what about that baby? Now, she was little during the parade. He goes, 5 years old, she's doing cheerleading now, doing some kind of cheerleading. She's doing all that. And he goes, actually, they're getting up there. They're at a point where they get their bicycles. They could actually ride down to the house. and do all of that. And I said, I'm talking about Allie, and you've met Allie's boyfriend now, and that's my daughter. And I'm like, I'm so close. I'm talked to Maddox a while ago. I'm ready to be a grandparent, but we got to get her married off and all of that. And he goes, boy, it's great. It's when you become a hero again. He said, Papa's a hero again, and doing all that. And I said, well, do all your kids, now, if for those don't know, Bochy lives in Tennessee. He's got this neighborhood where they drive around on golf carts. He talks about it all the time. And his kids live there. And I said, now, do all your kids live there? And he said, no, I've got one that lives in San Diego. He goes, I actually got a granddaughter out there. And I said, do y'all get out there much? And he goes, well, during the season when we go out there, we'll go see them. And she's about 6 or 7, I think he told me. And Mimi goes out there all the time. And then, of course, I said, I guess off season. He goes, yeah, when the off season's here, obviously we see him more. And then he just kind of went, this thing's going so fast. He goes, they are getting where they're going so fast. And he looked at me, but he looked through me. And he was saying all of this. And if I would have bet $100 right there, I would have said, he's thinking about, is it time to go be full-time grandpa? That's the way it felt. Listen, there's 2 scenarios here. First of all, his wife makes a lot of decisions, I think, and she has a big weigh-in on this. So you could think maybe that's the way he's looking. On the other hand, this is also the last couple of series of a very crappy season that has just kind of folded. And he might be thinking, let's get this weekend over with. I'm ready to go back to Tennessee for a little bit to decompress, see the grandbabies, and do that. But if I would have betting man right there, I would have thought the way he said it, very friendly. We were just talking, having fun. He said nothing to the effect, there's no way I'm asking him if he's coming back because that's not my position or place. But I was like, that looks like a guy right there who is ready to see grandbabies. And it could just be just because the season's almost here, or I don't know. It's been a crappy season. We know that. It's been a tough one, and he has managed his butt off. I am still in the effect that I think he's coming back. That's what I thought. I just kind of had that gut. But boy, I'm telling you right now, after that, I was like, whoa, I don't know. So I don't know, Jeff.
Yeah, I think these guys miss out on a lot. I mean, I'm just a baseball writer, and I missed out on a lot. And still I'm missing games this weekend. But they're gone from February to October. And in a perfect year, they're gone from February to the very, very end of October. And,
right.
And so they do miss a lot, and they get paid accordingly, and their family and kids get to experience some things that are great, but there's no doubt that they miss things and they hate that they do it. Now at 70, Bruce Bochy is past retirement age, but he already tried it. He already tried it once. And he did not care for it, and he was asked by me. I mean, I don't beat around the bush. I asked him point blank, what are you doing next year? And he said, well, I'm not going to talk about it till the season's over. But follow-up questions, like, I still love it. I still enjoy it.
Okay, I love that.
And so, so I think there's a desire there to continue to manage. And then people will say, I keep hearing things like the Giants job and, go work for Buster Posey and all this. Well, one, they would have to fire a really good manager in San Francisco. And then the Giants played really well here to get back into the kind of the fringe of the playoff picture. They had a good finish under Bob Melvin. So I don't know that they need to make a managerial change. Now, if you're familiar with U.S. geography at all, Tennessee is a lot closer to Dallas than it is to San Francisco.
Absolutely.
So there's some geographical things there. And then I just don't think Bruce Bochy wants to go out with a team like this. I think he wants to have a shot at a real winner, and you can't get it. I just with all due respect to the Giants, they're going to finish 4th in a really loaded division.
Yep.
And it's not going to get any easier next year or the next 2 years or the next 3 years. So I think if Bruce Bochy is going to manage, it's going to be for the Rangers.
Me too.
And the only and Chris Young has said numerous times, well, if he he gets to manage as long as he wants.
Sure.
But do things change? I don't know. Would Chris Young does he think that the end of this season and the way the team has performed is the manager's fault? Well, if he does, he's crazy. But
he is. Yeah, I don't think he's that stupid. I think just fans think that, and that's because they're thinking with their hearts and not their heads.
So would there be a scenario in which Chris Young doesn't want Bruce Bochy back? I think that's the only way it doesn't happen. I just think that early next week they'll announce that they've reached an agreement and Bruce Bochy will be back for 2 years, maybe with an option year. But I think that that's going to be what happens.
So I want to be very, very clear that I am not trying to break a story. I'm not trying to do that. It was surreal, and it totally felt to me like he was tired of this year, and I could imagine it after piecing together what he did with those with the what do they call them, the little rascals, and getting on a run, and then not having your best player. Look, this was not a manager problem. If anyone thinks it's a manager problem, the fact they were even in this is because of the manager. He was making changes all year when people were in slumps. People got demoted to the minor leagues because they weren't hitting at the big league level. This guy was making moves. I mean, he was trying to pull rabbits out of hats all season long. That is not a guy that's stubborn, hard-headed, only playing his veterans. He was trying anything in the world. This entire season rests solely on the offense, period. Even when the pitching suffered towards the end, they're exhausted. I don't care who you are. You know this, Jeff, as well as anybody. Jacob deGrom is the one that said the difference between a stressful inning and a non-stressful inning. Coming into a game with 3 or 4 runs on the board is a non-stressful inning. It means you can attack. If you make a mistake to that leadoff hitter and he hits it 600 feet, it's okay. Still got a couple of padded runs there. But when you come in feeling you can't give up a run because your offense isn't doing anything, that's called stress. You're overthinking it, and you think you got to be perfect. And this pitching staff did a great job, period. I don't care what anyone says.
100%. The pitching is fantastic. And Bruce Bochy said yesterday, if he had been told before the season that the Rangers would pitch and play defense like they did, he wouldn't believe that this team was not in the playoffs. But they're not, and it's because of the offense. You're right. I mean, the Rangers went 16-14 in Jacob deGrom starts. All right, he had a 2.97 ERA. That's ridiculous. If you have that guy, and he's posting those numbers, there's no way you should be losing or winning just over 50% of his starts.
Absolutely.
And it can go all the way back to there were some early injuries. Seager was hurt at the end of camp. So was Josh Young, and then Wyatt Langford dealt with some stuff, and then Berger wasn't very good, had to go to the minors, and then Jock Peterson was atrocious. I think that if they were counting on him to be this great clubhouse guy and teammate and rah-rah and all this stuff, that's really hard to do when you go 0 for 41 or whatever it was he did. 0 for 51, I think it was. And so maybe that was a twofold situation. But he has not been even close to the player they thought they were getting. Even now that he's healthy and playing every day, or not every day, but most of the days.
There were some signs of it.
He is not
who they signed.
Close to
who they
thought they were signing. And that's we'll get into this next week, but when you get into what's this team going to do and all of that, they need to really decide if they want Jock Peterson back at all.
Yep.
Would they eat the money? And of course they would try to trade him, but how much money would they be willing to eat? Would they eat it all? Do they think he's
right?
Is he that big of a problem?
So did you see the Marcus Semien quote?
Maybe.
Here's a quote. I forget where I saw this from, but this is a full quote Forgive me, it's kind of long. This team in general has a lot of work to do to get out of the funk we've been in the last 2 years. We had a decent year this year, but the last stretch really hurt us. You think about these last 2 years, it's not where we want to be. We want to be in the postseason. I'm not the one making the decision at who's in this clubhouse. I definitely know the kind of team I want to play on. That's guys who are hungry and wanting to go for championships every year. So that says a lot.
Yeah, it does. I was off. That was Wednesday, so I wasn't at the ballpark when he said that. But yeah,
there's been some talk about how the clubhouse was.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that. There's enough going around, and they all know. They're the ones who know what they do and what they don't do. And Bruce Bochy was asked about it yesterday. He said he thinks that it's fine and all that stuff. And I don't think that it is. And I think he's just saying that to protect his players, and not throw anybody under the bus. But I think that there are just some changes that need to be made, and yeah, they need to find it, right. They really need to find it. So we'll see what happens this offseason. I think that's what I think that's something that you may be like, oh, why did they trade that guy? And then it'll dawn on you, oh, that must be why. Something like that. But I think they have to clean up the lineup, and they have to clean up the just kind of the fits on the guys who fit and the guys who don't fit.
Yeah, you and I have seen it over and over. We've never seen anything that made it look like nobody liked each other, didn't get along from what we've seen. Of course, we're not there all the time. We're only there for 40 minutes and all of that. So, big thanks I really enjoyed talking to Boch, and I'm not trying to be controversial at all. It was fun talking to him. It's fun talking grandkids when you want to be a grandfather and you're at that point. And Mike Maddox and I had a long talk. He was talking about his grandson came over at 5:30 in the morning. They dropped him off early. He was the first face that got to see him that morning. He was just glowing from – you're not there yet. Your kids are in junior high, so you got a ways to go. But it was a lot of fun. Should we get Josh in here?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's go get Josh Owens right after this. Okay, guys, joining us right now from Arizona, where he's in fall instructs. It's new Texas Ranger. We can call him I don't know. He's a hitter. He's a pitcher. He's a two-way player. It's Josh Owens, third-round pick of the Texas Ranger. Josh, what's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Appreciate you guys having me on today.
Yeah. How is Arizona this time of year? Was it better than it was in August?
It's definitely a little bit cooler, but Arizona's been awesome. I've loved it out here. Obviously, it's pretty hot sometimes, but for me, I like the heat. So it's been a ton of fun and a great experience out here.
All right. So what are we doing in instructs? What have the last few days looked like for you?
Yeah. So we've been playing 3 games a week, and in between there's been camp days. So, really for the new draft guys like myself, they've watched us over the Bridge League and a little bit of affiliate ball if we had the chance to go up there, and they've started to dial in what they want to focus on, what they want to help us get better at. And so that's what Instructional League is for. A lot of coaches down here that are really getting us put in the best places to succeed. And so in those camp days, we're working a lot of fundamentals, hitting, defense, and all that good stuff. And then and in those games in the 3 days where everybody's getting reps, there's a lot of guys out here. And so it's been fun to play live games, but the point of Instruct League is just like it sounds. It's for instructional things. And so it's just a time for us all to really sharpen the edges of our swords and get better.
All right. So what are they telling you to sharpen?
Yeah. So from a defensive standpoint, it's just really staying smooth in the field, not getting too rushy and too quick with everything. And then as for hitting, everybody's still getting their reps in and seeing pitches, getting used to the step up from high school, because there are a lot of high school guys in this year's draft. And so we've all been sticking together and just making those adjustments. And it's been a ton of fun to stick with the guys and keep getting after it.
So is the whole draft class out there pretty much? Gavin and all the
Yes.
fellas.
Yes, sir.
What's it like? You talk about what it's like on the field. What's it like with those guys hanging out and getting to know each other a little better and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, we I'm actually here in the lobby of the village now where we all stay, and it's been a ton of fun. We've all grown pretty close over the short 2 3 months we've been here, and we all have a common goal in mind, and we're all competing for a spot, in affiliate ball next year. But out off the field, we've all grown so close. We go do stuff all the time. Out here in Arizona, we're within 30 minutes of anything to do over in Phoenix. So we've really grown close and created a brotherhood, and it's really been a ton of fun.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I'm sure John and I had the same thoughts at some point in our life that we'd be professional baseball players, and we weren't. But you're living the dream, and I know your dad was a pro ball player too.
Yes,
so was this all you were ever going to do?
I wouldn't say it was all I was ever going to do, but it was all I ever wanted to do. I've had my eyes on it since I was 5 years old, watching my dad play and going to the field with him, and I knew this is what I wanted to do. But I also knew that this isn't something that everybody just gets a chance to do. So it wasn't like I was dead set on this, because you've got to have a backup plan. But that a little over a year ago, when I started getting some professional scouting interest, and I started seeing the dream to really unfold, it was really surreal. And I would even say now it still hasn't exactly set in that my dream has come true, and that's what I'm living out. But I will say that this is what I've always wanted to do, and just like everybody else here, we've all put in the work to get here, and so now it's the start of a new chapter, and now we have to put in the work to make those next steps to one day be under the big lights.
So, and it seems like you might be working a little harder than everybody else because you also pitch, and I think you're kind of I'm trying to think of it. I think you're the patient zero in this regard. You and Sungjun Kim. What does the pitching part of it look like, in addition to the stuff you're talking about with fielding and hitting?
Yeah, so pitching is a little bit different for me than all the other pitchers, of course. While I'm doing my hitting and fielding, there's pitchers doing PFPs, there's pitchers throwing bullpens. But for me, I do all the position player stuff every day of the week, all the hitting, all the fielding. And then when it's my days to throw bullpen or throw in the game, I step aside just for that. So
Okay.
let's say if I throw a bullpen at 10 o'clock in the morning, then I eat breakfast, I do my position player lift early in the morning, and then I go get ready, throw my bullpen, and right after my bullpen, I go hit.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. I don't do all the pitchers work like I said, their PFPs and things like that. I'm normally the fielders, but I get that fielding work in with the infielders and shagging and all that good stuff. But what I will say about this organization is they do a really good job prioritizing my health, because at this level, at this intent, it's hard to make that many throws and be a pitcher and a hitter and throwing across the diamond from shortstop. And they've done a really good job always asking me how my body feels, how my arm feels. And if anything feels off, they don't hesitate to give me what's needed to, make sure I'm healthy for the next day, whether it be a day off or whether it just be some work in the training room. So this organization's been awesome with this two-way stuff. And I'm just so excited to have the opportunity, because this is what I've wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a two-way. I've done pitching and hitting my entire life. So it's just been a ton of fun.
Do you have a preference? I mean, if they said you only get to do one, what would you choose?
So I get asked that question way more than I understand. Like, I get asked that question every single day.
Yeah.
And I truthfully do not have an answer for that, because when I think about playing baseball, for me, that is pitching 1 or 2 days a week and playing the field and hitting the other days of the week. Like, to me, that is baseball. And other two-way guys will understand that. Like, there's no doing one. Like, I don't understand what it's like to just be a pitcher. I don't understand what it's like to just be a hitter. It's just doing both is the game of baseball for me. Yeah. So I truly don't know, but whatever it takes for me to succeed in this game and help this organization out to win games and eventually win the World Series, that's what I want to do. And if that's a pitcher, I would love to do it. For me, that's a hitter, I'd love to do it. But if it's both, obviously that's what I would like to do.
So is Kim out there with? I believe he is, right?
So he was in the Dominican for a while. I know that, and
Right.
I have not had the chance to meet him.
Okay.
But as far as I know, he will be coming up here to Arizona, but I have not met him yet or seen him
Okay.
yet.
Yeah. Well,
I would like to, though.
He's a nice kid. He's your age. He's working on his English, so you might have to have a little patience. I'm still working on my English. I'll tell you that. So, hey, I guess, what is your pitching arsenal?
Like what pitches I throw and things like that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a low arm slot, and so I've got a fastball and a sinker. Fastball is a little bit harder than that sinker, but my fastball's got a little more ride to it, and then the sinker, gets, I get the split those pitches.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of use that sinker more like a changeup, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And then I've got a slider as well. I'm comfortable with all three pitches in the zone, and I think that's the key to pitching. If you can throw your pitches in the zone, you're going to find success, regardless of movement, regardless of the speed. If you can get them in the zone, you're going to find success somehow. So, yeah, fastball, sinker, slider, and got that low arm slot, and gives me a little bit of uniqueness to my pitching ability, and so that's what works for me.
Okay. And then I think the thing that stood out to all of us is that you're from Evan Carter country, and
Yes,
and what did you played your games at his high school field? Is that I think somebody told me that. Is that right?
I've played a ton of games at his high school field, yes.
Okay.
And then I played summer ball for a collegiate summer league, and our home field was his high school field.
Okay. So, but he told me he had never met you, and now this is right after the draft. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to connect since then, but it's kind of a small world to have two like really good players come from that area to the same organization.
Yes, we've never met in person, which is surprising because like you said, coming from the same town and stuff like that. But we've connected over the phone several times. We stay in touch, and I'm really thankful for him because like that gives me somebody to look up to and ask questions when I need it, because he went through the exact same process as me. Both guys that were kind of not very well known at the start of high school, and then their last 2 years kind of made a name for ourselves, and then the draft happened, and then I'm looking to do what he did in the past 3 years and just continue to get better and find a way to win a ring. And so he's a guy I really look up to. He's a great guy. Strong in his faith, which is really important to me as well. So that's just things that we're really have in common, and I think it's going to be a good relationship for me to have throughout this process of my career. So,
and then I think the common thread there is Danny Clark, who might be my favorite guy in the organization. If I had to, I absolutely love Danny. How long have you and I guess Danny probably knew your pops a little bit, but how long have you guys known Danny?
So I have known Danny since I was born, because he knew my parents back in when they were in college. Man, DC, I can't speak highly enough of that man. Obviously, he's been in this organization for, I want to say 23 years, but don't quote me on that. He's been around. He knows so much about the game. He knows so much about this organization. And dude, he's just an awesome guy, just like Evan, strong in his faith, and he knows about this organization and baseball. And so that's just another number to have in my phone for this process. And so Danny's my guy, man. He's awesome. And and his son, actually, I'll go ahead and speak about his son. His son's going to be a really good athlete too.
Oh, really?
He's a rising freshman. He's a freshman this year, but that guy can play both basketball and baseball. He's a stud. So he's going to be fun to watch one day.
That's cool. That's cool. Sorry. All right, so I asked the baseball questions, and I'm going to save them because we're going to have you on in the future. But John is the more personable guy who's going to ask you all these questions about who you are and what makes you you. So here we go.
Yeah, and I want to apologize ahead of time. We're having some construction done outside of our studio. So if you hear a noise back there, that's what that is if it comes in. I've heard a saw and I've heard a hammer. So anyway, listen.
All
right, Josh, you're from Jonesboro, Tennessee, and we just talked about that. That's Evan Carter country. And you went to Providence Academy, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I got to ask this. Was there any other sport besides baseball that you played growing up?
I played basketball all the way through my freshman year of high school. And then it started to eat into that baseball time, and I knew baseball is what I wanted to pursue. And so I gave up basketball to really focus on baseball year round. I don't want to say I regret it, but I do miss basketball a lot. I wasn't, anything crazy at basketball, but I could put up some numbers, and it's just fun to play basketball. I loved basketball so much. And then I played baseball year round for what felt like forever. And I was like, I'm about to graduate high school, and my life is 100% in baseball, which is awesome. But I've got another 20, 30 years of baseball in my future, hopefully. And so I picked up and I put on some pads and a helmet and played some football for my senior year of high school. That made some baseball coaches pretty nervous, but it was so much fun. I got to play for Daniel Kilgore. He's our football coach over at Providence Academy. And that was just a ton of fun. Great experience. You get to hang out with the guys playing some football, because some of my other buddies, they followed. We all decided, we were at the lunch table one day. We're like, how about we just play football? And we all went to the coach. We're like, let's play. We joined 2 or 3 games into the season. And it was just history from there. We just had a fun time with it. So football and basketball and golf. I golf all the time.
What position in football? What position did you play in football?
So since I joined late in the season, I started off at receiver, and I just had the plays on my wrist and just run the route. But we implemented a little trick play, like a back lateral, and then me throw a deep ball. And I threw like a 55-yard touchdown. And awesome. A couple games later, our quarterback, I don't remember if he broke his wrist or he did something to his throwing arm or whatever. And so they put me at quarterback, but I didn't know the plays. I just knew if it was a run or if it was a pass, but I didn't know the routes or anything. And I played QB for like 4 or 5 games, and I didn't even know the playbook.
Cool. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. So let's talk about this. So you were actually a commit to Georgia Southern. That's where you're going to go to college. Was there any other schools that were interested in you? Was Georgia Southern because they were going to two-way you like someone else? Or tell us about that.
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of other college interest, but throughout that process, I got really close with Coach Hennon, and we stayed in touch. And when I was taking everything into consideration about where I wanted to go, what the future would hold, I just felt that Georgia Southern and Coach Hennon was going to be the place that was right for me. Some people question on why a mid-major, especially ended up getting drafted, but that was just some personal decisions that I just thought would be best for my career if the draft didn't work out. And Georgia Southern and Coach Hennon, they're a great program. Great coaching staff, and I thought that was going to be what's best for my career if the draft didn't work out. And so, still to this day, I think that was the best decision I could have made. And so I was really excited to go to Statesboro if that's what the Lord had in store for me. But obviously, we're here in the draft now. But yeah, no, Georgia Southern, that's what I was excited to do. They were going to let me two-way, but that wasn't really. I think a lot of schools were going to let me two-way if I went, but Georgia Southern just felt like what was going to be right for me.
So.
Any other big schools? I mean, what were some of the other schools that had offered you?
It was so long ago. I don't remember all of them. Mm-hmm. I had a couple Division I offers, and then the bigger schools, I don't want to say I turned away, but I didn't show much interest into those big schools. Just in this modern era of college baseball, that's not where I wanted to start my first 2 years of college, but yeah, a lot of mid-major offers, and then I didn't really dig deep in any of the bigger schools. I kind of left. I didn't even go on any visits like that.
Yeah. What were you saying, Jeff? You're about to ask.
Yeah. Well, you said if the draft didn't work out, so what was the number, or not the number? Like not financially, but if you hadn't gone by the blank round, did you have that set in your mind? Like if I'm not picked in the first on the second day, I'm out.
Well, I was like that. I thought it was going to be the, by what round. And so in discussion with my family and my agent, I was saying if I wasn't picked in the first day, let's just go to college. But then further discussion with the way slot values go and all that good stuff, it does come down for everybody in the draft. It does come down to money because the way they can overslot, underslot, and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was just, obviously we had a number in mind, and the Rangers, I think they did a really good draft class, and we came to an agreement, and I can't be more excited for where it ended up. So it all worked out great.
All right, perfect.
So here's another perfect fun thing for the draft. So you were a third round draft pick. Where were you at? I mean, a lot of people, they're either in front of the TV. I know some people go to where the draft is. You weren't at where the draft was.
No, sir.
What were you doing? Do you have a party with the family? What were y'all doing during the draft?
Yeah, so I was at my home. I just was gonna have my parents, my brother, and my grandparents, and then like my two closest friends. And then people were like, "Hey, are you doing anything for the draft?" And I was like, "Oh, this is one of my good friends. Y'all come too." Well, sure, you can come too. And it turned into there was a lot of people at my house, but it was just a great experience to sit there and watch that TV and eventually hear my name called. That was such a cool moment. And to see all the support. There's some pictures that got taken from the corner of like right when my name got called, and you can see the celebration from all my friends and family. And so I couldn't be more blessed for that night. At first I wasn't wanting too many people because I didn't want 40 people, and then oh no, what if my name doesn't get called, all that good stuff. But looking back, I wouldn't change anything about it. I'd want as many people there as possible because the support that was there that night was unbelievable. And I remember the first thing I did, we got our name called, celebrate, hugged my parents and stuff, and then went and jumped in the pool. That's what me and my friends did. And so
Nice.
then we just enjoyed the night, and we got to celebrate with all the people that really played a role in this process. And so I can't be more thankful for all those people.
Awesome.
Did they call you right before they drafted you? Like, hey, your name's next. We've got you. It's about to happen.
Yes, sir. They were. Okay. There's so many phone calls that happen, and my agent takes a lot of them too. And but yes, sir. That's how it went down.
Okay, so now let's get into food.
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to talk about food and what kind of food. Look, you guys are usually, there's dietitians that work with you guys, especially now that you're a professional. That's going to happen going forward and all of that. Yep. But it's inevitable. All of us, no matter what. I'm in the process of losing a lot of weight. Jeff's done it years ago. So we've eaten bad, we've eaten good. But when you have to, sometimes you just got to grab fast food. There's no getting around it. You got to grab. You guys eat more than anybody. I've seen baseball players. They throw a lot of calories down to keep up with the work you do. If you have to, what's your go-to? What's your favorite fast food joint?
So here in Arizona, that's just for Arizona. I've got two. So we're going to go for here in Arizona. I'm going down 1.5 miles that way to Raising Cane's. I love some Raising Cane's, getting me some chicken fingers and double toast, no coleslaw. But then when I'm back home in Johnson City, Tennessee, I'm hitting on my favorite place in the world, and this will never be beaten, is Bar Burritos in Johnson City, Tennessee. It's basically Chipotle, and not to down on anything Chipotle, but I would say it trumps Chipotle in taste, variety, prices, and everything. And that is my favorite restaurant in the whole world, is Bar Burritos.
Okay, is that a franchise around Tennessee, or is that just somebody owns it there in town?
No, it's close to the southeast, I believe. So there's more than just in East Tennessee, but there's none on the West Coast or anything like that.
Okay, I've got right down. Bar Burritos. I'm going to find it. We're going to end up over there somewhere. I'm going to find one of those.
So it's, is it Mexican food?
It is. Okay. So my order, as soon as I get home, my order is going to be, a bowl with rice, beans, ground beef, spicy chicken. So it's double protein, and then lettuce, cheese, and Chipotle ranch and sour cream.
Well, I just did a Google search for it, and the first location that came up was Johnson City. So
yes,
I think you're the one who's boosting them. It sounds like, but
dude, that is my favorite place in the world to eat.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm all for places like that. So
and Jeff and I got a place in Arizona. If you're a Mexican food guy, wait, what's it called, Jeff?
Oh, God dang it! It's right off of Litchfield. Give me a minute.
Okay, you figured that out. We're going to keep going. Okay, so home cooked food. Now, what is your favorite home cooked meal? Who cooks it? Is it a girlfriend, your mom, your grandma? When it's your birthday and they're like, "What do you want? We're going to make it." What is it? What do they make you?
So, I do a lot of cooking at home. But do you want my favorite that I cook, or you want what my mom cooks?
Your absolute favorite.
Oh, Mom, I don't know if I want to. I don't want to give yours. If I want to give mine.
Well, if you're smart, you'll give your mother's.
Yeah. My mom's salmon patties are hard to beat. Salmon patties, mashed potatoes, and peas. Oh, I love her salmon patties. They're so good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to beat. Is mom's salmon patties? Those are pretty hard to beat.
Okay, now what about you? What's your go-to?
My go-to is I'll cook up 2 or 3 pounds of taco meat, and that's my thing. I love making me some taco. When it's taco night, I'll cook dinner for the family. I love making some tacos.
How many of the 3 pounds will you eat?
It's close to a pound of that. I'm not gonna lie. It's close to it.
Hey, then there's leftovers though, man. You can eat on those for a couple of days.
You better believe it.
Okay,
I do the same thing.
Our taco place is called Tacos Calafia.
Tacos Calafia.
I mean, technically, it'll take you 3 minutes to get there from the village, and
it's in a little strip mall there. It's kind of in a corner.
A little strip mall. It's next to like a little arcade, kind of by the Walmart. And
over by the Walmart. I know exactly what you're talking about. Gotcha.
It is solid.
It's never busy. It's never real busy.
Yeah.
And we discovered it a few years ago, and man, we hit that thing 3 times when we're in town for sure. That is a great place. So I think I
went 8 times last spring.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, we like it. So we're just making a suggestion. You're there now. You might want to not check that place out while you're there.
We leave tomorrow, but maybe we'll get it for dinner tonight. Well, we have got a night game tonight. We'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can squeeze it in there.
You're going to spend some time in Arizona. Trust me. You'll have plenty of time to figure 100%. Out this place. Okay. What about this? Your spare time. Now, do you do any? Are you a hunter, fisher? Do you play video games? What do you do in your spare time?
I do not play video games. I sit down. If I try to play video games, I play for 10 minutes and I can't sit there. And so I don't play any video games. Golf takes up a lot of my time. Do a lot of golf. I'm not very good, but I do golf a lot. I've already got like 4 tee times back home when I get home with my guys. So that's gonna be fun. And then hunting and fishing. If you're from East Tennessee and you don't hunt and fish, then I don't know why you're there.
Yeah.
I'll get a couple more days of dove season when I get home, so we'll be in the dove field. And then me and Dad and my uncle, while he's in town, we'll go out to the lake. We'll take the bass boat out and nighttime fish right now. And so fishing and hunting and golf, that's a lot of my free time.
I'm hitting the dove field in a couple weeks. Yep.
Sweet.
I think I want to go to your house, man.
Dude, come on.
It sounds perfect. Golf and fishing.
Salmon patties. We're going to get some salmon patties, some tacos.
Some barbaritos. I'm in.
Let's do it.
Let me give you something. If I saw this happen one time, and we do it every year now with dove. If you kill a lot of dove, take the hearts out. This doesn't sound right, but listen to me. Take all the hearts out, put them together, butter, put some butter and all that, melt it in butter and cook them like in a tin foil, and put some spices on it. Ooh. It's good. No, they're a little bitty. Really? You're not going to fill up on them, but it's a part because everybody eats dove. They eat the breast. That's really all there is on a dove is a breast.
Exactly.
And you can breast them and put them around jalapenos. But depending on how you want to grill, there's all different ways. But I saw somebody do it on a YouTube video. We started doing it, and you put you put the butter in it, you melt it in the butter, you cook it in there, and you put the spices in there, and it's fantastic.
That sounds good right there. Well, we'll definitely have to do that.
So how big is it? How big is a dove heart? Like a dime?
Oh, it's little bitty. I mean, it's little. It's not big at all.
It's not big. Yeah, I'm trying to.
You have to kill a lot of dove to make it. Basically, so I don't know about Tennessee. In Texas, you can kill 15 dove a day. But if you're with a group of guys and 3 guys kill 15, that's 45 doves. So that's 45 hearts you get out of it. That's not a meal. But that's like a little side thing that you're just kind of nipping on while you're cooking your dove up and doing that, because dove is good eating. So anyway,
you can't make a dove heart patty.
No, not at all. No. Listen, let me tell you something. I never had done this. I would have never thought to do this. I saw it from somebody. We started doing it, and it was like, holy crap, these are fantastic. Just pop them, hit them with a little toothpick, and put that on there. So anyway, okay. We're going to get one more and get you out of here, bud. This is the one we like to ask everybody. Jeff, did you have anything else?
No. I'm saving a lot of my bullets here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we ask this to everybody. It's what's something that nobody knows about Josh Owens. Now, there's some fun answers that people have had. Your general manager, Chris Young, is a true crime documentary dude. When he gets spare time, he loves to watch true crime documentaries. We've had guys that have got their finger cut off when they were little. We've had guys that were sleepwalkers. We've had all kinds of weird things. What is something nobody knows about Josh Owens?
You're going to give me a second to think. I want to think of something good, not just a little cool. Nobody knows. I'm trying to think of something I do at home a lot.
Okay.
If I hadn't have brought it up earlier, it would have been that out of nowhere I played quarterback for 4 games and I didn't even know
That's
the
pretty
players.
good. That's a pretty good one.
That's a good one. What is something? I'm trying to think of something really unique that nobody knows.
Uh-oh.
Let's see here. Man, that's it. I guess I don't want to copy one of the ones you threw out there, but I can be a sleep talker.
Oh,
I
really?
can be a sleep talker. Yeah. Now, not real sentences though. I'm a sleep rambler.
Okay. That's
Not
still
loud,
fun.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Josh, this will happen too. You're going to be back on this show. Trust me. You're one of the top minor league players. We get them on during the season, during spring training. We'll talk to you. You're going to figure out one's going to come to mind. Yeah. Save it. When we hit you back up, you're going to go, hey, I've got an answer to that question, and we'll get it
awesome.
from you.
That's what I'll do that because I know I've got something out there. You just put me on the spot.
I did. You know what? Jacob deGrom couldn't come up with one either. He was like, oh, God, I got to think of one too. So he couldn't come up with one either.
Have you like alarmed teammates or guys you're sharing a room with, like on the road, with your sleep talking?
No, they say they don't even notice it unless I've fallen asleep before they do. And it's like real quiet, but I like ramble and like random words. It's not even sentences. And it's real quiet, they say.
I like it though.
Well, that all came up because I don't know if you know who Brock Burke is, Major League player Brock Burke. He played with the Rangers. He got traded by the time. He was a sleep walker, and he would get up in the middle of the night. Like, they had to alert the team, let them know. He was a guy that would get up and walk all around. He tore his legs up running into stuff, and he scared his roommates in the minor leagues because he would get up and fight with his pillow. So that's why I asked that. That's an example that we use. But Brock's with the Angels now, right? Is that who he's with now?
Yeah, he's having a nice year too.
Yep. So anyway, listen, guys, that's Josh Owens. He's the new Texas Rangers. We're going to say shortstop and pitcher, or the American Ohtani. Can we call him? Not yet. We're not going to call him that yet. But he don't want to be compared to that. Josh, listen, I know you guys are busy. You're at Instructs. Jeff, anything else? We get him out of here.
No, but it was nice to meet you. Something about those East Tennessee kids, that you just like. So we appreciate you coming on. If Danny's out there, tell him I said hi, and safe travels back home, and
thank you.
Have some delicious barbaritos for me.
You better believe it. 2 more days.
Absolutely. Hey, we'll find a way to we'll get it to Carter or somebody when this episode will be up later today. You can share it with your family and all of that.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
That's Josh Owens, guys. We're going down on the bus leagues right after this. All right, a big thanks there to Josh Owens. That was a lot of fun. Good kid.
Yeah, good kid, and seems like he has a pretty good personality about him, and a little less reserved than Evan Carter is. But sounds like, there are a lot of similarities in them. Just listening to him talk and listening to Evan talk, there are a lot of similar. They seem like they're not the exact same person, but they seem like they're cut from the same cloth almost.
Yeah. Well, that area, they're both men of faith. Very good for them. Both Danny Clark, you talked about the similarities that come through there. Listen, we're down in the bus league, guys. There's not a ton to talk about. The seasons are over for all of them. There's nothing going on anymore. I guess we could touch. They're in fall instructs now. Talk on some players that maybe kind of stood out to you or didn't, or just touch on notes. For this one isn't going to be very long. Usually we're breaking down every team and what's going on, and then because next week when we come back, we didn't talk about it in the big league section, but we're going to start talking about what do you think is going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, where is this thing headed? So, what do you want to talk about finishing off in this minor league stuff?
Well, I think the farm system is going to be a big part of this offseason. The Rangers farm system is not highly rated. And I know they like their guys, of course, but all the guys that are the real top, the bulk. How about this? The bulk of the best prospects have not even reached AAA yet. There's
Right.
a lot of guys at the lower levels, such as Josh Owens and Gavin Feen, and the draft. Basically, the last two draft classes, they're still down in A ball, and so it'll be interesting to see if the Rangers decide to cut bait with a couple guys. If
names
they
you talk about,
guys like Heim and Garcia, if they attempt to get just some prospects back, maybe some good prospects that are upper level and can be part of the depth. For I can't imagine another injury season like this, but you got to prepare for it, and
you have to act like it's going to happen. Yeah.
Right, and so I do wonder if something like that occurs this offseason, because I don't even think I think Sebastian Walcott could start next year back at AA. He had a nice season but didn't dominate it.
Right.
And if that's your top guy, he's not ready to help the big leagues yet. And again, he's only going to be 20. But you don't. Who's your next best prospect? Well, it might be Gavin Feen. At least he's the guy in all the rankings. What does he have? 15 professional games under his belt. So there's not a lot of like impact help coming right away. And really, I don't know. Do you want to? Is Abby Ortiz a guy? I don't know. He's had a great run in AAA. He had since June he's been fantastic, but he can only play first base really. Yeah, and Blaine Crim's gone up to Colorado and hit 5 homers, and but anyway, and then the pitching side, you gotta get something next year out of Santos, Teodo, and Corniel. They all came back. Well, Santos and Teodo were in camp and were hurt throughout the season. Corniel was doing Tommy John, and he's been fantastic. Right, he's been really, really good. So they need to be the next wave of guys. They're all on the 40-man roster. You need Mark Church to be back healthy, but like, which starting pitcher do you just feel great about right now in the minors? I don't even think you feel that great about Kumar Rocker. Honestly, he's got some things he's got to work on. I mean, Davalillo? I don't think Davalillo. He's half a season at AA, right? I mean, so there's some things that need to happen in the farm system this offseason to help with the depth. And it's not there yet. Now they'll have another draft next year, and they'll have another international signing period, but those guys are years away, right? I mean, you're not drafting Paul Skeens in all likelihood. So I think that the Rangers have some work to do with the farm system, just bringing in some fresh players and maybe.
Will they be in the lottery again?
Yeah, if you don't make the playoffs, you're in the lottery.
But I thought there was some catch that if you're in the lottery so many years in a row, you have to sit out. I don't remember.
You can't be in the top 10 3 years in a row, maybe, or 2 years in a row, something like that. That's why the White Sox drafted 10th this year instead of first.
Right.
In any event, one team made one full season team made the playoffs. The Arizona team and one of the Dominican teams both made the playoffs.
Right. Not down east. Hub City did.
Yeah, Hub City, right. And then there was some success. Then there were the trades at the deadline that kind of has the Rangers in this situation. Cole Drake and Mitch Brett, chief among them. And so, yeah, work to do. But Walcott is great. I mean, he's. I know some people. I've heard a couple people out there who aren't sure. It's like, well, he's 19. Give him a chance. He finished the year on a 12-game hitting streak. He stole more than 30 bases. Hit in the 10 to 15 range on home runs. Had a lot of doubles. Plays a premium defensive position and is going to get better there. So anyway, feel good about him. feel good about some of the years that the guys we've had. Cam Colley had a nice year. Caden Scarborough had a real good year. David Davalio had a good year. Cody Freeman, of course, had a great year. He was the Rangers Minor League Player of the Year. Abby Ortiz, good year. So there are guys who are in the system who had nice seasons, and you feel good about. You just need to feel good about more of them. And so, a group of guys are going to Instructs, including Santos and Teodo. Malcolm Moore is going. Sebastian Walcott is going. So there are some guys that are going to get some more reps and be in better shape, hopefully to help impact the big league team next year.
Yeah. And so, and I want to get something straight. We're at the end of this thing, guys. We're about to wind it down. We've been about an hour. A lot of y'all on Twitter, I'm really the only one that engages. The other guys don't. They don't have time. I do it just because I'm a fan too and love to do it. If you are under the impression that this team's about to tear it down and rebuild, I don't know where you're coming from. They feel this team has the core players, and they believe this is a disappointment that this team did not do what they were supposed to do, and they are in no way coming into this thinking we don't have a chance next year. They fully expect to be World Series contenders next year. And if you say they're smoking crack and I'm smoking crack, well, so be it. But that's the way the Rangers are thinking. They are not tearing this thing down.
No, they're not. You sign guys to the contracts that you signed them to with the intention of winning multiple World Series, and Seager and Simeon are still, and Evaldi and DeGrom still have multiple years left on their contracts. And if you can throw out Evaldi and DeGrom twice every 5 days, you're going to be in really good shape.
And Leiter follows up somewhere.
Yeah, and Leiter now looks like a draft and player development success when there's probably a lot of people out there at the start of this year who are like, what a waste. This guy's a disaster. He's turned in a heck of a nice season. So that's when you talk about the highlights of the season, what Jack Leiter has done. He makes a start tonight. What he has done is
amazing.
No doubt a highlight and something to build on for 2026. Yeah.
Well, man, get out of here. I know you're in Cleveland, just so if anything breaks these last 3 days, y'all will have some kind of State of the Union afterwards. You about to go to the ball field?
Yeah, I might as well. I don't really have anything else to do. I stop and pick something up to eat and then head that way. I think I'll walk. It looks like a nice day here in Cleveland. So,
well, I'm going to your neck of the woods. I'm actually heading to Mansfield here in a few minutes. So,
nice.
That big building I'm selling down there, we're going to show it to some people. So, Hey guys, thanks for being a part of this one. Big thanks to, again, Round Rock for what they have done for us all season long. We totally appreciate them. For Jeff Wilson, for Josh Owens, I'm John Moore. Until next week, when we start breaking down what we're going to do, see you at the yard.